get the same question multiple times, at least in my DMs, asking how do I make these appliques. So I personally use amazing casting resin, which sets in 10 minutes, but there are 3 ways of doing it, and I will show you all 3 today. Second is hot glue gun, and third is air dry clay. My personal favorite is amazing casting resin. It comes with 2 liquids, a few measuring cups, and a wooden stick to mix the solution with. I have seen a lot of people measuring them by the measuring marks on the cups. I personally like to go by the weight on the measuring scale. I think it just takes away all the guesswork. And let me show you. So I will bring my weighing scale mark to 0. Make sure it's 0. I will pour 15 ml of liquid A. Then bring my scale back to 0 and then pour 15 ml of liquid B. Now I have a total of 30 ml. I'm going to mix it very well. And you have to do it quickly because it starts setting. If it starts going cloudy, it just means that the chemicals have started reacting together and it's okay. It is supposed to become cloudy. And then you start putting them into the molds. Low and slow. Low and slow. So now on to the second method, which is using the hot glue. So I will use a small flower and you just fill your mold with hot glue and wait for it to set. So now while the resin is setting and the glue is setting, let me show you how to do it with the clay. So you really have to knead and play and work with the clay. And once you think, because it's quite hard, and once you think that it's super soft, you take some cornstarch on a brush and you lightly and gently brush your molds. Only because you don't want your clay to stick to the molds. You'll be easily able to pull out your applique from the mold. And with clay, you really want to make sure that you have pushed it all the way in. And now check out the details. Here's my conclusion. I think that resin is expensive, but it's easier to work with because it sets in 10 minutes and it's not breakable. It is unbreakable and it brings out a lot of details. With clay, yes, it does bring out a lot of details from the molds, but while it's drying, it does break. And the last method, which is hot glue, I think it's quite cheap and easy to use, but it does not bring out a lot of details. Which for some people it might be okay because it does get the job done. So if you're starting out and if you don't want to spend a lot of money on buying the resin liquids, on buying resin, you can just start out with hot glue or clay, whatever works for you. And with resin, once you pop it out of the mold, it's very flexible. It stays flexible for like a couple minutes. So if you're like putting it around a curved surface, for example this bottle, you can just bend it and stick it. So they're very flexible, but let's suppose you have made them and the next day you want to put them somewhere, or maybe after 1 hour you want to put them to a curved surface. You will have to use a heat gun or a hair dryer. Heat will make it pliable again. So heating the resin makes it pliable again, and then you can, like work with it, and you can pretty much put it to any curved surface after that. Otherwise, if you have made those appliques and you just want to stick them to flat surfaces, you are good to go. In case I overfill it, then I just need to clean it. I take my scissors and I clean and I cut off the excess. Right? So you can actually cut it as well, and you can paint them. You can paint them really well. So I hope this helps.